Even more so than building the instruments, of course.
Sure.
'Cause that's what I came here for. I didn't come here to build instruments.
that's
That
right.
was like, it was like something that just happened. And everybody goes, what, that
Pocket
just
money.
happened?
Pocket money. Pocket money.
Well, it wasn't even that. I didn't even think about that. I was just trying to make something, I thought there was something wrong, and I just,
Sure.
my dad always said, Carl, if you think something's in the wrong place, pick it up and move it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I did. I picked it up and I moved it. And he also said, if it's too heavy and you think it really should be moved, get some help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. And over the years, and sometimes it gets a little like, too much work, too much going on.
Sure.
Pete's here, Joe's here, and in the past, different people have worked, And it does. I feel good about that. I feel good actually being able to have someone like Pete here and Joe and young people around me. I feel that, being able to share whatever it is I know with someone like Pete, who is a great, great woodworker, and he's a really nice young man. And
Well, let's not get carried away.
yeah,
Sorry, Pete, only kidding.
he was born the year I made the first base. Yeah, he was born. It's the same year I made
that right?
1974.
I think what Carl's trying to say also is that you have to be yourself. You can't be somebody else. And if yourself is somebody like James Taylor, then that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no harm in that. If yourself is somebody like Charlie Parker, then that's what it is. There's no harm in that. I think there are guys that are destined to push the envelope, and then there's guys destined to play in the envelope. I think that we all strive to just play in the envelope. You know what I mean? We just play, and you play with players that push on it and push and pull, and everybody, no matter what kind of music that they play, individually, if they're truthful to themselves and to their craft, they're pushing and pulling also.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just on a different plane. That's all. There's no difference. There's no. And I think that sometimes certain individuals get this. I'm a jazz player, and they get this elitist atmosphere around them, and as soon as that happens, they stop being artists. They're no longer artists. They're just another hack.
And the music goes out the window.
And the music goes out the window. Absolutely, because it's always about keeping it simple and not showing off. You know what I mean? And if you can keep it simple and groove it, you're going to make a lot of money and have and you have even more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And play with great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
So
those people I play with is like the people and the audience we have. We've been over there almost 9 years and playing there, and the people come and listen. It's all those musicians like Virginia Mayhew, and Jamie Foxx and all those people that play. They're such high-level players, and they're all ladies and gentlemen. There's never anybody up there waiting to show you, oh, I can do this. Well, he did that. Where do you see this? There's none of that. It doesn't exist, and it shouldn't exist no matter what level you're on. No matter what level you're on,
That's right.
That should never exist.
You are who you are. Yeah.
The best is a temporary thing.
Yeah. No. Isn't that true? Because the older you get, the more facility you lose. Can't go quite as fast. Gotta pick my spots. But it's why guys, and God rest his soul. Les Paul played.
Oh yeah.
How long did Les play?
Big time.
And he was still
doing
making it happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right before he passed.
Yeah.
So God bless his spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And his soul and all that. And he's a testament to all musicians everywhere.
That's for sure.
Something to strive for, to be like Les was.
Oh, yeah. He was a beautiful man. I got to know him real well.
Sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart.
I know the last time I saw him, about a year before he passed, maybe a little longer. I had some pictures. I went backstage and hung out with him a little bit. I don't know if I ever did I tell that story on camera, Pete? I don't think so.
Was he at the Iridium at the time? Was he still at the
Yeah,
Iridium?
yeah. I went backstage and he opened the door. He was sitting on the couch. The room was kind of dark. His son was sitting there with him. He was there eating peanuts, you know. He was sitting there. And the room was kind of dark. And I was standing in the doorway. And he kept looking up. Like he didn't recognize me at first because the light was bad. And, you know, I hadn't seen him for a while. And then it dawned on him who I was, you know. And he started to get up. And as he got up, he said, Jesus Christ. I said, no, I'm not Jesus. I knew him.
Yeah, right. He hasn't seen you for so long, right? Yeah.
And his son said, oh, I can see where this comes. We had a good time. I had some pictures with me of a guitar I made for Lou Reed, and I was showing Les those pictures. I said, you remember Lou Reed? He said, oh, yeah, Walk on the Wild Side.
I was just going to say.
He knew right away.
Hey, babe.
But when I showed him the pictures, he put his arm around me and said, oh, you're doing all right, kid. You know. Now, for me, when I was a little boy listening to How High the Moon and the World's Bell, all that stuff he and Mary Ford did, to be sitting in a room with a man like that, showing him pictures, I made a guitar for Lou Reed, who was that's another deal, you know, and having Les put his arm around me, why wouldn't I feel good? You know?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and forget about, you know, the genius and the legend and the luthier and all this. It's just, that meant more to me than all of that. You know?
He had nothing to prove.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, it's funny, I try to tell my students too the same thing, is that I spent some time on tour. When I was with Dave Sanchez, we opened up quite a bit for Return to Forever at the time, and I made some great friends out of Stan and Chick and Lenny and Al and even in the Music Magic band, and I still communicate with Jerry Brown, who played drums in the Music Magic band, and what you realize on that level is that you can't waste your energy on artificial things, like trying to be cool, like trying to show off musically. It's a waste of energy. You just got to be cool, man. You just got to be yourself. It's all about the truth, right? It's about the truth. It's who you are. Who you are is who you are. You can't change who you are. You are who you are. No matter, you know, you could try and dress in different clothes, and you could try and, oh, let me learn this lick from this guy, because if I play that lick, I'll be cooler than this guy. It ain't about that, because when push comes to shove, it's all about quarter notes. How you play the quarter, and where you feel it, and where you're hearing it, and being able to control it, and how to...
Remember Billy Watts?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Great trombone player.
Yeah.
He did an interview on Bass Player Downbeat magazine years ago, and one of the captions they took out of the article and put it above the article. I took that out and put it in my studio all those years ago. But what Billy said was, first you learn your instrument, then you sing your song. I like that.
That's exactly
what a nice
right.
Way to, that's
exactly right. And
you learn your instrument, then you sing a song. And the more you know about your instrument, the better your song is going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another thing is Dexter Gordon said that in order to play a song, you had to know the melody in your head.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know the melody in your head, then you don't know where the song is going. You don't know how to improvise on the song. You can't complement the song. You can't walk. You can't play bass on the song. You can't do anything, because it's all about the flow of the melody, and the harmonic integrity of the linear line of the melody tells you everything you need to know about the song. You know.
There's an old story. Lester Young came off a bandstand one time, and somebody said, "Wow, Lester, you really played great. I mean, that was wonderful. The way you did this and that." And Lester supposedly said, "Oh, I don't know, the bridge. I forgot the lyrics."
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, I know the lyrics though. I know Virginia. She always cracks up. She'll say something, and I'll start singing the lyrics to her. She go, "Is there any song you don't know, Carl?"
No, because when we improvise, right, and when we're playing, what are we trying to emulate? The human voice. And by the way, I mean, I talked about time and the quarter note and all that stuff. Lester Young, who was the king of playing behind the beat and still in time.
Oh, yeah.
You listen to him, and all you got to do is listen to Billie Holiday sing, and Billie Holiday is like Lester Young singing. The time is just
flowed.
another element above the tune, you know, and the tune is laid out.
And they knew the tune. They really knew it really well.
Absolutely, you know. And if you want to
Well,
play on
that's
top of the beat, you listen to Train. Train plays on top of the beat, yet he doesn't speed up. Sounds like he does, but it's not. It's right there. So, I mean, there's a lot to, you know, there's a lot to learn as a musician. I think you learn from playing with your peers and people above your peers. You learn from them, and you should always be humble. You know,
I know one thing I learned
I
I learned for sure as becoming more of a bass player than a guitar. I played guitar all my life, but playing bass for as long as I have. The one thing you mentioned quarter notes a while ago, and if it is true, everybody has their own idea of what a quarter note is, and how they treat it, and as part of the organization that you're with, you have to be aware of that.
Absolutely.
And especially as a bass player, you really have to be aware of it.
Absolutely. What I've been able to develop in my long years of playing, and I've been playing now since 1960, basically.
1860?
Yeah, 1960. It's all about the relaxation of the time, but music sometimes has to have energy and it has to have emotion, and you can't restrict the energy and the emotion. If we all wanted to do that, we could put a metronome in our ears and blare it and just play to the metronome, and the music will become just two-dimensional. It doesn't reach that third dimension, you know. So as a bass player, you have to take care of the time, but you have to be able to side to side of the time where it need. And I don't mean by anticipating a note, an accent. I mean like in your walk. And Carl talked about the quarter note, and for me, I subscribe to a concept that Ron Carter and to me, Ron is one of the you know, I mean, he's one of the greatest. I don't want to say walkers, because I think you say that walking, I think it limits him. He struts, and I mentioned this to Carl. That you know, Ron treats the quarter note and every quarter note as one.
Yeah.
It's one, 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 one. Okay, and that's where the strut comes in. Is that one, and you're on it, and what it does is it adds compression. It adds that third dimension to the music, and it just lays the perfect bed for the soloist to lay down in. And so that's, hey, we strive for that all the time, you know. And
you know, Virginia told me one of the nicest compliments I ever. Well, actually, the rhythm section that I play with over there, which is myself on bass, and then Cook Broadnax, Cook's on drums. You know, little Jimmy Scott's drummer.
Jimmy Scott's drummer.
And
I played with him. I did a concert with him. He's a great player. And oh my goodness.
Jamie Foxx.
No, Jimmy Foxx was doing a show. I was playing at a jazz festival, and you think I can remember the jazz festival? And I was there, and oh my goodness, guitar player, lived down the. It's tough getting old, Carl. My memory is like going right out my ears here.
Well, anyway, what I was going to say was, with that rhythm section, myself and Cook and Jamie Foxx on guitar, Virginia. Virginia told me once. She told me more than once. She says, you know, with you guys in the rhythm section,